Out in the wild landscapes of South Africa, there lives a reptile that has one of the most brilliant and bizarre defense tricks I've ever seen. This is the Armadillo Girdled lizard, a small but incredibly tough creature. When it senses danger, it doesn't just run and hide. It performs a piece of natural acrobatics that is truly a sight to behold. It grabs its own tail in its mouth, curling up into a tight, spiky ball. This incredible move transforms the lizard from a small, scurrying animal into a near-impenetrable wheel of armor, leaving any would-be predator completely baffled and often giving up the chase entirely. It's a strategy that is as effective as it is spectacular. This tail-biting maneuver is the lizard's signature move and its ultimate lifesaver. By clamping down on its tail, the lizard forms a perfect circle, much like a tiny armored donut. This posture completely shields its soft and vulnerable underbelly, which is the one part of its body that isn't covered in thick, protective scales. Instead of showing its weak spot, the lizard presents a formidable wall of sharp, spiny scales to the outside world. A predator, like a bird of prey or a snake, is met with nothing but pointy bits, making it almost impossible to get a grip or find a spot to attack. It's a clever, all-or-nothing defense that relies on the lizard's own body as its shield. The name for this incredible behavior comes from its shape. When curled up, the lizard looks like a miniature version of an armadillo rolling into a ball, hence its common name. The action itself is lightning fast. One moment you see a lizard, and the next, it's a spiky ring. This defensive wheel makes the lizard too big and too prickly for many predators to swallow. They simply can't get their mouths around it, and even if they could, the sharp spines would make for a very painful meal. It's an ingenious solution that allows this small reptile to stand up to much larger threats in its harsh, unforgiving environment. What I find most fascinating is the commitment of this defense. The lizard has to trust its own armor completely. By biting its tail, it locks itself into this protective shape and holds on for dear life until the danger has passed. It can stay in this position for a surprisingly long time, patiently waiting out the threat. This isn't just a fleeting reaction, it's a deliberate and sustained act of survival. This unique strategy is one of the most remarkable examples of defensive evolution in the entire animal kingdom, proving that sometimes the best way to fight back is to turn yourself into an unbreakable fortress. The Armadillo Girdled lizard's defense wouldn't work without its incredible body armor. Its back is covered in large rectangular scales that are thick, tough, and bony, known as osteoderms. These aren't just surface-level scales, they are reinforced plates of bone embedded within the skin, creating a suit of natural chainmail. The scales run in distinct rows down its body, giving it a girdled or banded appearance. Along its back and, most importantly, its tail, these scales are topped with sharp, prominent spines. This spiky exterior is the first line of defense, making the lizard an unappealing and difficult meal for any predator that tries to take a bite. Imagine trying to bite into a pine cone. That's essentially what a predator faces when it encounters an armadillo girdled lizard. The spines on its tail are particularly formidable. When the lizard curls up and bites its tail, these spines point directly outwards, creating a thorny barrier that protects its head and soft underside. This spiky shield is so effective that most predators, after a few exploratory prods, will decide it's just not worth the effort or the potential injury. It's a perfect example of passive defense, where the animal's anatomy does all the work to deter an attack without it having to fight back aggressively. This lizard is essentially a walking fortress, perfectly adapted to a life filled with danger. Its entire body, from its heavily armored head to the tip of its spiny tail, is designed for protection. Even its coloration, a yellowish-brown, helps it blend in seamlessly with the rocky, sandy terrain of its South African home. This camouflage is its first defense, helping it to avoid being spotted in the first place. But when camouflage fails and a predator gets too close, the lizard can rely on its incredible armor and its unique tail-biting trick as the ultimate backup plan. The structure of the scales provides more than just a spiky surface. It provides strength. The overlapping bony plates create a rigid but flexible covering that can withstand significant pressure. This means that even if a predator, like a mongoose or a large bird, manages to get a grip, it would find it incredibly difficult to crush the lizard or penetrate its armor. The entire design is a masterclass in natural engineering, combining camouflage, a spiky deterrent, and a strong protective shell to ensure this little reptile can survive against the odds in a world of bigger, stronger hunters. Unlike most lizards, which are solitary creatures that prefer to live alone, the armadillo girdled lizard is surprisingly social. These reptiles are often found living in large groups, which can number up to 30 or even 60 individuals. They make their homes in the rock crevices and outcrops of the succulent Karoo Desert region in South Africa. These groups aren't just a random gathering. They often consist of related individuals, forming complex family communities. They share the same shelter, basking in the sun together and retreating into the safety of their rocky homes when danger approaches. This behavior is incredibly rare among reptiles. Living in groups provides a significant survival advantage, particularly when it comes to spotting predators. With more pairs of eyes on the lookout, there's a much better chance that someone in the group will spot an approaching eagle or snake before it gets too close. When one lizard senses danger, it will quickly retreat into a crevice, and this action alerts the rest of the group to follow suit. This collective vigilance means they can spend more time safely basking and foraging for food, like their favorite meal of termites, without constantly having to worry about being ambushed. It's a classic case of safety in numbers. These lizards are very particular about their homes. They don't just hide in any old crack in the rocks, they seek out narrow crevices that offer the best protection. Once inside, they can wedge themselves in tightly, making it nearly impossible for a predator to pull them out. If they are caught out in the open, they rely on their tail-biting defense, but their primary strategy is to always stay close to their fortress-like crevice. These communal homes are used for many years, often passed down through generations, becoming a central and vital part of their social structure and survival. The social dynamics of these lizards are fascinating to observe. Within their groups, they seem to have a peaceful coexistence, sharing resources and shelter without much conflict. This cooperative lifestyle is a huge part of what makes the armadillo girdled lizard so special. While their armor and spiky ball defense are what they are most famous for, their complex social behavior sets them apart from almost all other lizards. They have found that sticking together is one of the best ways to thrive in the challenging desert environment they call home, proving that even small reptiles can benefit from a strong community. The scientific name of the armadillo girdled lizard, Aish, is steeped in ancient mythology. The genus name, A, refers to the ancient symbol of a serpent or dragon eating its own tail. This symbol, seen in Egyptian and Greek mythology, represents the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It's the perfect name for a lizard that literally bites its own tail to form a circle of life-saving protection. The species name is Latin for armoured or clad in mail, a fitting description for a creature that looks like it's wearing a custom-built suit of armour. Another incredible fact about these lizards is the way they reproduce. Most lizards lay eggs, but the armadillo girdled lizard gives birth to live young. This is quite unusual in the reptile world. The female typically gives birth to only 1 or occasionally 2 babies per year. This low birth rate means that each offspring is a precious investment. The baby is very large at birth, sometimes up to 1/3 of the mother's size, and is born as a perfect miniature version of the adults, complete with its own set of armour. What's even more remarkable is that the parental care doesn't stop at birth. In another display of behavior that is rare for lizards, the parents and possibly other members of the group appear to care for their young. The mother has even been observed feeding her offspring, a level of parental investment that we usually associate with birds and mammals. This dedication to raising their young, combined with their social group living, ensures that the next generation has the best possible start in life and the greatest chance of survival in their harsh desert home. From its mythical name to its live births and caring family life, the armadillo girdled lizard consistently breaks the mold of what we expect from a reptile. It is a creature of fascinating contradictions. A small lizard with the defenses of a tank, a cold-blooded reptile with the warm social bonds of a family group, and an animal whose real-life survival strategy mirrors an ancient symbol of eternity. It is a powerful reminder that the natural world is full of incredible animals that have evolved truly unique and brilliant ways to thrive on our amazing planet.